Good morning. You might be wondering why I greeted you guys good morning. I mean, it may be, or you may be seeing this, or you may be watching this in late night or in the afternoon, or regardless of, what time it is um, when you're watching this. Basically, when we say good morning, that's how we would usually start our day. Here in the world that I have been with for the past 13 years. So yes, I've been in the call center industry for 13 years. It really is a challenging world. Right now, as I'm recording, I'm actually doing my task as one of the communications trainer and a process trainer here in one of the call centers in Pampanga. Is it really difficult, especially with the kind of status that I am? I am a working student. I'm a full-time college student, as I would normally introduce myself in my classes. And really, is there something that I, as a person, um, can share with everyone, or is there something inspirational that I can share with everyone? I've also been asking myself about that question for the longest time. There was even a time where I think that was in 2014 when my high school um, invited me to kind of speak in front of a graduating class. So I asked my high school teacher back then, I said, why me? I haven't finished college. Um, Technically, I am a nobody compared to my other classmates who are working abroad, who's a seaman, who is a member of the military, an accountant. Back then in 2014, I was a nobody. Well, I'm not saying that I am right now. But what stood up to me is that when my when my former teacher said, it's not about what you have become, or it's not about the education that you have finished, but rather it's the kind of the person that you've developed over the years. And I said, okay, so I might have done something different for them to invite me to talk to a graduating class. So I started my speech by showing the graduating class a copy of my manuscript, a copy of my speech. I started it by saying, I'm sorry. So I said, I'm sorry because I don't usually use, what do you call that, a reviewer, or in Tagalog, they call it código. So that's how I started my talk with a graduating class. I said, I'm sorry, allow me to use a código for now as I talk to you, because I just got off of work, and um, I prepared my speech while I was in the bus, and thinking as to how will I be able to deliver this. One reason why I actually, I wanted to, or I took that opportunity to talk in front of that graduating class is because I know that there is something that I can share. Maybe a little part of me to share with these graduating students. And then another part of me is saying, I have to take that chance. I have to speak in front of everyone, not just for myself, but also, um, you know, it's going to be an added pride for my nanay. So while I was talking in front of the class, I told them the story about how I struggled um, back in high school. Well, I would not say we struggled in elementary, because I'm glad that my father exerted too much effort, really, in sending us to school. But when we moved in my parents' province, that's in Pangasinan, that's when we started to experience a bumpy road. So there were times where I would go to school with no nothing, no baon or nothing, just me and my bag and my school stuff. So I shared with everyone how um, painful life was back then. I also shared as to how we all had to exert effort. Like Nanay would ask us to sell roasted nuts. Well, I want to be honest. I am not that kind of student. I don't know. Maybe I'm shy. Maybe I thought that with the kind of status that I am, being the first honor of the class, I kind of felt ashamed that I would have to sell nuts. Later that I know, you know, that's my mom's way of helping my dad or my tatay to help us out with the school finances. So with the good reputation that I established in the school, I was lucky enough to have or to be granted a scholarship grant. Imagine a third year high school getting a scholarship grant in a public school. So how did that work? Basically, my teachers um, contributed to whatever it is that I need to pay. For example, miscellaneous. If I have to be sent into trainings, if I have to be sent into some activities or out of school activities, if I have to go through with um, school campings or whatever it is, whatever school activity or whatever activity that would require me to participate and represent the school, my teachers were always there to back me up. My teachers would always shell out to cover up for all the expenses. That's how I survived high school. And really, so the question is, why did I not continue college? Right? Having to graduate as a valedictorian, I had a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of scholarship grants right and left. I can just go anywhere. I can go any offices and you know um, grab any scholarship grants that anyone would give me. But the thing is, at age 16, I thought it wouldn't be wise because if I'm gonna go to college, yes, um, I would have all the luxury in getting scholarship grants from people, from organizations. But the thing is, apart from that, my brothers and my sisters are also at the same time studying. So I don't understand and I have always been thinking how are my parents going to finance that? So I told my nanay and my tatay, I don't think it's the right time for me to go to school or for me to get into college. I was crying. I was literally in tears when I was talking to them about it. I actually told my dad, if I remember it right, I told him that I can go to Manila to 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 find a work or to find a job that would help everyone. Nanay was crying because I was 16. Well, I was turning 17 that time, and it would be a very brave move if I'm gonna go to Manila, you know, and would just find a job that I thought would allow me to finance or help the needs of the family. And I said no. I think I have to do it because I can't afford to stay at home and do nothing and just watch them, just watch tatay or nanay or every night go fishing just for us to all have something to share in the table. So I told nanay and tatay I'm going to Manila. So initially they said no, but I said I think it's about time for me to help, not not just to help them all out, but to help my other siblings, because they did not have that luxury to experience the life that we experienced when we were still in Metro Manila. They didn't have the chance to eat chocolates. They didn't have the chance to buy clothes every now and then. They did not have the chance to have packed lunch or have extra money to buy whatever it is that we want. Or they didn't have the chance to go to places, because when my family decided to move to Pangasinan, things changed. So what I did was I talked to um, one of my aunts secretly. I said, um, can you lend me like 200 pesos? So back then, 200 is a little huge amount of money, because the fare to Manila back then is just about, I think, 150 pesos. So I told my aunt, if she can lend me 200 pesos, I'm gonna go to Manila that night. And I told her to just keep it as a secret, because I don't want my nanay and my tatay to be worried about what my plans are. So, yep, what I did was to literally pack my bags, and um, you know, I even wrote a letter to each of my siblings. I told them the promises that I wanted to share with them. Um, I told my brothers that I'll be supporting them to be able to finish high school, and a strong promise was when I told my youngest sister that I'll take ownership of her. I'll take ownership of her schooling. I'll send her to college. That was the biggest promise that I ever made. Apart from that, um, I have a sister who has been suffering with asthma for the longest time. So I gave her this letter and said, you don't have to worry. The moment that I get to work in the metro, I'll take charge of buying your medicines. I'll make sure to send you your weekly allowance, just for you to be able um, to buy the needs that you have for your condition. So then I left and moved to Manila. And being 17, or being 30, on that age, really, I was little too young to really find a decent job, as I would say, because no companies will allow a 16 or a 17-year-old guy to really work. So what I did is I had to tamper my birth certificate just to be able to get into one of the factories in Valenzuela, or in Metro Manila. Right. So eventually, when I reached 18, that's when I saw an advertisement um, in Friendster. That was Friendster days. So I saw an ad in Friendster where this call center in Ortigas was doing a job fair in a mall close to where I live in Valenzuela. So I was so excited. I told my sister, I wanna go there. I wanna try to apply in a call center. I didn't I didn't have any idea as to what call center is, or what's the work of a call center agent is. I just had my faith in me that time that I'll try it, and if I fail, then thank you. But if I pass, then great. It will be a better opportunity. So yep, I went there. I borrowed my cousin's shoes, since I didn't have a good pair of shoes. I went there and applied, and luckily, the interview started at around 10 in the morning. After my initial interview, the recruitment team, or the talent acquisition team, as what we call it, sent me to their Ortigas office with no idea as to what what am I expecting or what's in store for me. I went to Ortigas again in good faith that something good is about to come. So I went into Ortigas, and together with a couple of interviewees, um, we were asked questions, um, we were given instructions, and the most nerve-wracking part is when they had me discuss about a specific gadget that I haven't actually used. So God has good plans. I was able to get the position of a technical support representative in Metro Manila. So right then, I called my mom and my dad, or my nanay and my tatay, and my brothers and sisters in Pangasinan, and said, um, I'm going to start working in a call center with an average rate of this amount. So everyone was just so glad. And when I told my mom about it, she was so happy because she saw the kind of situation that I have, or that I was in when I was working in a factory. She saw how my feet reacted with the chemicals. She saw how my hands were actually bombarded with a lot of chemicals. And she also saw how thin I was because I had to work for like 12 hours every day because at the factory. Also, what I told my sister is that I can like get her here, or I mean I can get her from Pangasinan and bring her into the metro, so I would be able to supervise her medications, and if there's a need for me to bring her to um, the doctors, I mean it would be easier for me. Not until the unfortunate event happened when my sister passed away in 2008. So I kind of lost hope because I said she's one of the reasons why I want to work in a call center, or why I want to earn more, because I want her to have an extended life. I want her to experience the kind of life that I started experiencing. I wanted her to experience the life that I am capable of, of giving her. But unfortunately, um, it was taken from us. So when my sister passed away in 2008, I said, is this really the kind of job that I want? Because apparently, the sister that I am supporting is no longer here. I mean, who else would push me to go to work? And then I realized this job is giving my parents and myself um, medical security. This is the first time where I was able to, um, bring my mom and my dad into an expensive medical checkup. This is also the first time where I was able to get into huge hospitals in the metro. I said, I think really, um, despite my sister not being here anymore, I think there's something that um, would still push me to do better in the craft that I am in. So yep, I stick or I stayed in the call center industry. Let alone, of course, you know, the promise that I had with my brothers and sisters. So eventually, my brothers finished high school. When I was asking them if they wish to continue college, and they said no, they didn't want, or they didn't have any plans to do it, because primarily we didn't have enough funds. Because the moment that I joined the call center industry, I told my dad, or I told Tatay, to stop working. His he was young. He was about 50 years old back then, or 50 something years old. But um, what I told him is that I think his served us long enough So I said, let me take care um, of everything. So um, I know it was very difficult for him to really make the adjustments, but I saw how, you know, he was shaking every time he goes home. And the worst part is, he even had a mild stroke while working as a carpenter. So I said, no, I think it's about time for you to stop and allow me to take care of everything and to take charge. I didn't want to bother. I didn't want to bother my brothers and sisters or my elderly brothers and sisters because I know that they have their own priorities. They have their own families. So I thought of, taking the lead and making sure that everyone is covered. So I said, I told Tatay to stop and, allow me to just take charge of the family. And luckily, he agreed to it, especially when I said, I don't want that, a day would come and you would be here, you would be coming home, not breathing. So I was able to get his permission to take charge of the family, and with good faith and the goodness of the Lord, really, the job allowed me to finance the needs of everyone. Not really to be well off, but rather at least we were able to experience the life where we didn't have to go to sari stores and have to make utang just to survive a day. So I was able to support the needs of everyone. I was able to send my youngest sister, which I think is my trophy, as I would say, because I was able to have her finish a college course, the first in the family, to be exact. So I take pride of that. I mean, I take pride of being able to support the family despite the fact that I personally have not proven myself anything at all. Not being able to enter college, not being able to get a college degree, and yet they consider me as a breadwinner. That's something, really something. So, why am I saying all of this? I mean, why am I sharing those experiences, or why do I keep on saying, I haven't proven myself worthy of anything? This is one thing that I want everyone to understand. People will always belittle, someone who they thought or who they see, um, or who they perceive to be um, a nobody. And I think the lesson that I have learned over the past years is that, you know, you just always had to keep your eye on the goal. It's never too late. It's never too late to fulfill your dreams. I'm trying to address this right now, and I'm talking on behalf of the class that I am in. I take pride um, in becoming part of this group of this graduating class because we're all um, we're all in our later years. We're all in our midlife years, and yet here we are. Um, we we are still trying to pursue the dreams that we have. For myself personally, um, you know, I made this promise um, when I talked in front of a graduating class in 2014. I made a promise. I told that class that one day I will get back. I'll go back to the school and share with them my college diploma, my degree. And I think I'm a little one step closer to that. Now, why am I saying this or why am I talking about this? I want everyone to understand that we have our own fair share of, luck, of fortune, of success. I want everyone to understand that, we have our own timeline. we will be able to reach our goals, our dreams, not at the same time. But you know, I want everyone to understand that if you feel like you're a little late in achieving your goals, it's okay to feel bad. If you feel like you're being left behind, sometimes it's okay to feel sorry. If you feel like you're becoming a failure or you are a failure, it is okay to feel that. You are all, or we are all entitled to feel that. But what's more important is how would you bounce back into it? How would you move forward? Or how would you change that? How would you do a 360-degree change of all those roadblocks? In my situation, um, one word or one major statement that that stuck me was when I heard one of my relatives said, yeah, he's a team manager. He's gone through a point where he's a trainer. Um, he was a manager in a call center, but he's not a college graduate. And I felt bad because hearing that from a relative, I kind of felt like, why am I being judged because of my educational attainment? Why can't they just look into the side where I was able to help out my family? I'm able to support my brothers and my sisters, and I'm able to support and extend assistance to my other relatives. And then there's this one aunt of mine who said, you don't actually have to mind what your uncle is saying. I am proud of you. And during my dad and my nanay's downfall, or my tatay and my nanay's downfall, before they passed away, I think what made me really feel glad and honored and proud is when I heard them. When I heard my tatay said, I thank God that you are my child and that you are my son. Because despite all the challenges that we had, despite all the differences that we had, you were there to support us when we needed you. And then, just before my nanay passed away, she had this word saying, I'm always proud of the kind of person that you have become. Because out of all my children, you're the only one who was able to send me into a lot of, things that I don't think I would be able to do. She even said, I was the only one who was able to fulfill her dreams of feeling the not the wealth, but rather at least being lifted from the challenging life. And that really is a big word for me that kept me motivated. Those words from my parents are basically my driving factors. So why am I saying all of this? I want everyone to understand. I want you to know or to understand that you're basically traveling your own timeline. You're walking your own path. And you don't have to really look at the path that your colleagues are walking into. Focus on your own. Focus on your goals. Focus on your motivations. Because that's when, you'd feel like going to get up every day. That's when you feel like you have that focus, or you are motivated, or that uh, you have that passion, or your eyes are set, that's where you will keep your drive. That's where you'll get your drive to get up every day and be good at the task that you are assigned to. You don't always have to be pressured. You don't always have to feel pressured if people are trying to achieve their goals before you. You just have to trust the process. You just have to understand that, there are better plans than your own plans. You just really have to trust that. And I think that's what I have been doing. That's why I've stayed long in this industry. And I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna walk you through with the kind of work that we do. I'm gonna show you with, the world that I am in. Because this world allowed me to continue my dream, to continue to achieve my goal. And I want you to see that. Right now, I want you to focus on your goals, focus on your dreams, and focus on how you would achieve that. Someday, you will be.